Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's feeling good. So today, we're going to do another gentle exercise class. It's going to be roughly about 32 minutes long. It's very precise there, isn't it? Roughly about 32 minutes, 33. It's going to be nice and gentle. The only equipment that I got today is just some 2 tins and a bag of potatoes. Good morning, Craig. Hello. So that's what I'm using. So I'm just using some tins to use as dumbbells, and I'm just using a bag of potatoes then if I need to use some upright rows or anything like that. Alright, so yes, we're just going to give it perhaps one more minute, and then we'll get up and ready to go. Obviously, if you've got any questions just before we start, if you want to type them in and just let us know, and we can go from there. Okay, I have trouble looking at the camera. Right, all good. Right. I hope you're all having a lovely day to start off with. It's nice out there, sun's shining. It's all good. It's all good. And it's Good Friday as well. So we're here. All in chance there. All in chance. What we got? Any plans for the weekend? So obviously, the most important thing is to stay safe. That's the most important thing, really, isn't it? There's no other things other than that. That's good, guys. Right then, so I'm gonna crack on with it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a nice, gentle warm up. Okay, it's roughly gonna be about 5 minutes, and then, well, if I kind of talk you through the order of the day, what we're going to do is we're gonna do a 5-minute warm up, and then we'll do 10 exercises. They're gonna be 30 seconds long each long. All right, so it could be 30 seconds, then we can do 30 seconds rest, and then obviously that's going to repeat it then 10 times. We'll have 2 minutes break, so a chance for you to get a little bit of a drink, a little bit of a rest, and then what we'll do is we'll repeat that set again then. Okay, so it gives you a little bit of something to kind of, if you're not quite too sure what the exercises are and what they're going to be, the second time round they hopefully become a little bit more familiar. I will try and put different variations of the exercises as well up. So obviously sitting or a regression point of it as well. Please as well, if there's anything down the bottom, just let me know, and then hopefully everything will be all good. Okay, so let's get going. So first of all, what we're going to do is just going to get my timers going. So we're roughly going to, right then, so when we're ready, we're just going to start nice and steady, just marching on the spot, using those arms. Okay. That is perfect, and then from there what we're going to do is just going to do some shoulder rolls. So bring the shoulder up to the ears and then rolling them back down, keeping a nice little march on the spot as you're doing it. That is perfect. Well done, everybody. That's it. And then relax. Then we're just going to do some side steps, just like so, and then we're going to take 2 steps forward. So I'm coming close to the camera. And 2 steps back with a nice little march again. Perfect. Just going to increase that range of movement now, so as if we're coming out here. As you can see, I've had a bit of a cut. I haven't got much hair there to come at the moment. So that's it, just bringing it all the way back up and then taking it back down. Good. And then we're going to take 2 steps, get a hit of the camera, boom, and then back again. Going to increase that range now again, just bringing our arms up as if you're doing a full arm stretch and shoulder rotation. Okay, obviously if you find this difficult, what you can do is just go back to there or go back to that one, whichever you find comfortable in doing, and then back to a nice little steady march. We're just going to do some heel digs. So some of the moves that in the warm-up are going to be in the actual set. So heel digs is one of those. So it's all you're doing is just tapping your heel on the floor, just like so. Perfect. Back into a nice little steady march. Next exercise then, what we're going to do is stand side on. We're going to push to the side. I'm only joking, don't do that one. Back to a nice steady little march. That's all we're doing. Perfect, don't try that one. Excellent. And then what we're going to do then is just coming up onto our toes. If you can, if you need a table to hold on to, coming up onto our toes. And then back. That's just to make sure people were watching. And then just coming up onto your toes. And then back down, back into a nice little power. We're just going to do a couple of crossovers, but this time we're only taking, just bringing it up to the thigh and just touching it, just as I'm doing now, okay? Obviously be mindful of how high you can lift the knee, just taking it up. Good, feet hip width apart then, knees slightly off lock, bring the elbows in nice and tight, Slowly turn it to the side, back to the centre. Exactly the same the other side. So we're mobilising the middle part of the spine, the thoracic. Big words. Well, not big words, posh words. And then back to a nice sort of steady march again on the spot. A little bit of a side steps. Okay, so just taking a step, touching it, keeping an eye on the time as well. And then from there, feet a little bit wider than the shoulders, hands down to the side, stretching down as far as we can go. That's it. Really stretch the lower part of the lumbar as well as we're stretching the obliques as well. Getting that in there. And then back into march. And just because I'm doing it in my daily videos, we're connecting people, let's get attached. Boom, we're in there. Back into a nice little steady march again then. So from there, we're going to do some hamstring curls. Just curling that leg up towards our bum and then placing it back down. And then we're going to bring in a chest press as well. Just bring the arms, keeping them up to chest height, pushing them forward and back, as you can see as I'm doing. And then nice and relaxed. What we're going to do then is take your one foot in your hand, using a chair or a table for support. You can grab your tracksuit bottom if you need to. Just keep the knee in line with the hip. Just push back against the foot. And then we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. I know you all much love the opposites. Same. And then we're going to do exactly the same then with the other leg. So again, keeping the knee in line with the hip, pointing down. And then pushing back for extra strength. Good. Back into a nice little steady march. If I pause that, then going over. Hang on. Pause that a second. Back into a march. That's good. We're just going to do some heel digs then. Just tapping our heel on the floor. And we're going to bring in some bicep curls. Just bring the arms, so using the full mobility. Just bringing it up, touching the shoulders. And then taking it back down. Then what I want to do, as you take a step forward then, okay, with your right leg, we're going to hold that there. If you need to hold on to a chair or table for support, and then you're just sitting back, you should feel a stretch from the top of the knee right up into the bum. Okay, and then slowly relax. Back into a couple more, opposite arm, opposite leg this time. Again, just to get the brains working as well as the bodies, and then exactly the same then with the other leg as you take a step forward with the left leg. Again, using the chair or the table for support and just sitting back into that stretch. And then coming back up, back into nice. What we're going to do now is just some half jacks. That's it, slowly raising our heart rate. Taking our feet to the side as well as we're doing it. And here we go. And back into a march. And 2 steps forward. And then 2 steps back. The song is somewhere. Back into a nice steady march. Into the more side steps, but this time now what we're going to do is taking the arms above the head. Okay, taking the arms above the head. Again, if you've got any problems with any shoulder mobility, just take it as far as you can go, nice and steady. Remember to go at your own pace, okay? Then place one hand on top of the other, just like so, and stretch up as high. There we go. Again, if you've got any shoulder mobility, any shoulder issues at all, just take it up as high as you can go. So you may only be there. Alright? And then slowly relax. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Taking the arms up. John Travolta style. So if you want to add a little heart in there, you can do. Just keeping it nice and steady. Back into a march. Showing off that. And then from there, we're going to do some tap backs. So take a step back, push off the ball of the foot. Bring the 2 feet together. We're going to bring the arms in as well, only up to shoulder height for me. There we go. And then as you take a step back with your left leg, hold that there, bend in the front knee and lean slightly forward into that stretch. Roughly hold the knee stretches for about 10 seconds. With this one, make sure the knee doesn't go past the foot, the body is slightly over the knee. And back into a march, into some more tap backs. This time we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg for me. So keep that going. There we go. And then as you take a step back then with your right leg, we're going to hold that there, bend in the left knee and lean slightly forward. Again, make sure the knee doesn't go past the foot. Try and get both feet to point to 12 o'clock. Obviously, I'm stood side on, but I stood to you now. It'd be just like so. You should feel a mild stretch all in the lower part of the calf muscles. So we've got a couple of comments coming in, back into a nice steady march. We're going to crank it up a little bit, so into some crossovers just to raise our heart rate for the final 10 seconds. And then from there we're going to do a shoulder press, and then opposite arm, opposite leg. Good. Right, so we're going to have a little bit of a rest, 30 seconds rest. I'll give you enough time to explain the first exercise. The first one we've got written down is some bicep curls. Now I'm using 2 tins for here to add a little bit of weight with some heel digs. So like we did in the warm-up, it's just adding a little bit of weight. Obviously if you sat down, what you can do is use a chair, and you can do it just as I'm doing now. So 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Just bring the tins all the way up to the shoulder. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can add a bit of coordination in there. So opposite arm, opposite leg. And obviously, if you want to make it a little bit harder again, you can add just a little bit of a bounce in it. But just remember to go at your own pace, your own speed, your own rhythm. Alright? Nice and steady. So we're obviously working the arms. So if you think about it in day-to-day activities, lifting up some shopping bags, anything like that. And then rest, if you're glad to know. Rest for 30 seconds. That's good. So, I can't remember everything I've got and we're going to be doing. Next one, we're going to work our core. So if you remember this one from Wednesday, I'm going to hold the bag of potatoes for this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold out in front and slowly turn it to the side, back to the centre, to the side. So very much like we did in the warm-up, but because I'm adding the weight now, it's going to work those obliques a little bit more. Alright? 3, 2, 1, and let's get going. Let's go. That's it. I'm keeping a nice steady rhythm. Obviously, if you want to make it a little bit easier, what you can do is bring those weights, or those bag of potatoes I've got, nice and close. Keeping the knees nice and soft, so there's a slight bend in them. Obviously, if it's a little bit straight, you can play a little bit of havoc with the back at times, so it gives you a little bit more sturdier base to kind of work on. And obviously, if you want to make it a lot harder, you do it like so. And then 30 seconds rest. Good. 30 seconds rest. If you want to have a little bit of a shake or a little bit of a march on, you can do as well. So the next one now we have is nice and simple. It's sit to stand. So in a chair, we're going to sit up and then sit back down. Obviously, if you find that difficult, you can push yourself up using the arms, or if you are indeed using a chair with arms, you can push yourself up using that. So taking some of the pressure off the legs and the knees into the upper body. Okay, so when you're ready, and off you go. Again, you don't have to go particularly quick. If you find it difficult getting up, you can have a little march before you sit back down. Okay, it's always important to sit on the edge of the chair. If you sat all the way back, it becomes a little bit difficult, or becomes more difficult to get up. So hitting on the side, and wasting time. Same some sit to stands. There we go. So you see I'm going quite quickly on this one. So that's another way of making it that a little bit harder. Okay. And 30 seconds rest. So please, it's very hot. I'm hot in here today, so if you want to grab a drink, please do. We've got 30 seconds to roughly go on that. Okay. And this one tonight we're going to add a little bit more a CV into it, so cardiovascular. So we're going to do some tap backs with a forward raise. So exactly like we did in the warm-up. Okay, just tapping back, bringing the arms up to shoulder height and back down. Obviously, if you sat down, what you can do is some heel digs and the forward raise as well. If you want to make it a bit difficult, opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay, and off we go. So it's just adding a little bit more of a cardiovascular side to it. Again, if you want to make this a bit harder, you can always have some tins and using those, or you can use bottles of water, whichever you prefer, whichever you find easy really. And just bring it up and it's comfortable. Again, as I keep on saying, just go at a pace that suits you. Just go at the pace that suits you. So we've got 5 seconds left, let's make it good. 2, 1, there we go, perfect, good. I'm going to get attacked, boom. Just connecting everybody into the room. Excellent. So next one we have is we're going to work the upper body. So now we're going to do some upright rows as we've done in some of the previous daily challenges, but now we're going to add a side step into that. So bringing the weight up to about chin height and take it back. It's almost as if you're doing your coat up on your jacket, bringing it up and taking it back down. So you're working the same muscles as if you would do if you're lifting a shopping bag. So when you're ready, and off we go. So bring that to the chin – and taking it back down. Well done. bringing it up, leading up with the elbows. You should feel it all across the top of the back there. Again, if you want to do this sitting down, you can just do a little bit of a side step and taking it up, keeping the back nice and straight as you're doing it. So you've got 5 seconds left. Perfect, good. So moving on to the next one, so something similar to the warm-up, what we did. I'm going to grab the 2 tins again for this one. So feet hip width apart, hands down to the side, and we're just going to stretch down. So we're just going to do some side bends, but because I've added a little bit of weight, hopefully it'll work the obliques a little bit more. Obviously it doesn't have to be tins, it can be anything. It can be, even if you have just one bag, you can go do 1, 2, and then whoop, 1, 2, that side as well. So it's entirely up to you. I just find it easier with something in each hand because I get to do that. All the while I'm resetting myself as well from there to the point, just to make sure I'm doing okay. And be mindful with this one, a lot of people tend to lean forward and do that, or tend to lean back a little bit much. So we're just going from side to side, okay? And there we go. So again, it's a nice one to mobilize the lower part of the back. It's also a good one for the obliques as well. Perfect, so we can have 30 seconds rest again. Woo. So now this is going to be a little bit tougher now. As the daily challenges, those who've been watching, I've been doing a lateral lunge. Okay, so I've been taking a side step and then lunging down. Really important with this one, as you take a side step, make sure the knee doesn't go past. You're going to be stretching part of the inner thigh as well. If you want to make it a bit easier, just take a lesser step. Or if you want to hold on to something, you can do it like so. So when you're ready, and off we go. Okay, so do the 3D is a little bit easier, you can see me from the front. Just taking a side step, and then a lunge down. Again, be mindful of the knees, so anything like that you find issues with, only go down as far and as comfortable as you feel. So if I do it from the side, you may see the knee a little bit closer. That's in. So if I do it from this side again. Again, all the while keeping the body nice and upright. So it's really taking it there. Good, so 30 seconds rest, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. So now we're going to go to a little bit of a tough one, as if we're climbing a ladder now. So mountain climbers, okay. Now half of you thinking I ain't going up any ladder. But no, it's just basically to get the heart rate going. And they're called mountain climbers, but I want you to sort of envisage as if you're climbing a ladder. So opposite hand, opposite leg, so you're doing just like so. Obviously if you want to make this a bit easier, sitting down, you do some high knees, or just do the high knees. Okay, so we're going to go for it. Stretching up. So if you're climbing that ladder, getting up as high as you can. As you can see, I'm lifting my knee up quite high. Obviously finding it difficult, you can just take it up a little bit away and slowly move right down. Gonna work for another 15 seconds. That's good. Stretching right up. Again, you can do it from the sitting down position, and then just lifting the knees up. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. We're moving on. Last one. So this one is called, I don't know if you saw Joe Wicks this morning doing the body coach. He is the body coach, and he was doing some frog squats, something that I find really good to do. So it opens up the hips, okay? So to do this one, we're going to do a regress form of those, okay? And what we're going to do is pretty much like a sit to stand, but we're just going to rest our forearms on our knees. We're going to bring our bum to touch the chair, and we're going to bring it back up. So we're extending the hamstrings and back down. And off we go. So this one's really going to test the hamstrings and the quadriceps, the big thigh muscles, but there. Helps us get in and out of the chairs, set ease. Bring down, so my legs are burning already. I can really feel that on my hamstrings. Again, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can use it without the chair. Wait, lost balance. Be careful of that, and only go down as far as you can go. I can really feel that all in my thighs in a moment. So this is a regress frog squat, okay? Good, and rest. Excellent. Well done, well done. Cool, right, so we've got one more to do. Again, we're going to head back to the lunges. Sorry, not back to the lunges. We're going to do a lateral raise with a side step. So taking our arms out to the side and some side steps. Okay, again, only lifting the arms up as high as shoulder height. Again, if some of you are having difficulty with the shoulders, frozen shoulders in particular, just take it up as high as you can. And off we go. Just be mindful as well if you have one bad shoulder, it's always important to mirror. So if the one bad shoulder can only go to there, that's where you take the good one. So the body stays symmetrical, otherwise it always feels a little bit awkward if you're doing that particular movement, okay? Again, out of breath. Same frog squats. That's it. So lateral raise. My arms are feeling it as well, my shoulders. And then relax. Good. So, another 30 seconds rest, is it? It was 2 minutes. Cool, do apologize, but have 2 minutes rest then, guys, because that's all the 10 exercises. So grab yourself a little bit of a drink. I'm going to sort of set this right. Clearly that didn't work. Thought I was all good, thought I was all on it then. Clearly not. Clearly not. At the time of working good. So yeah, so I hope you're all enjoying it so far. So what we're going to do is have a couple of minutes, 2 minutes rest, and then we'll go through it. Quite a couple of comments coming through there. Without coming too close to the camera, obviously. Can't read them. Have a look. Tom's watching. Hey, Glennis. See you for ages. And he's weird. Come on, Am, get your dad involved. That's good. Let's keep it going. Well done. So we're just going to have a roughly about 2 minutes rest, as I keep on saying. Hopefully by that time you sort out the timer and get that all up and running for you all. And then it's straight from in there as well then. So there we go. Let's do a different one. Let's take that out. Cool. Right then, I'm all ready to good to go. Alright. So got that up and running. Technology, brilliant when it works. Terrible when it doesn't. Okay, so right. So we're going to repeat those 10 exercises again. Now, hopefully now you know where we are, get a little bit of a better understanding. Obviously, as you can see, they can be done seated or standing, it's up to you, and obviously they can be made a little bit easier. If there's any moves in what I'm doing today, or even what Craig is going to be doing in the future, if it's things you think, oh, I'm finding this difficult, please let us know, or comment or anything like that, because without your feedback, obviously it's quite difficult, and obviously we can reply then and give you advice on how to make that easier as well, or harder if anything, if anybody needs to do that. So let's get ready to go. Take a final sip of the drink, and we'll go again. So we're going to start off with the first one, which was bicep curls with a heel dig. Alright, so when you're ready, 3, 2, 1, guys, off we go. So tapping those heels on the floor, just like so. If you want to make it a little bit easier, as I said, harder, sorry, my words mixed up. Opposite arm, opposite leg, just like so. Again, or what you can do is add more weight to what you're doing. Okay, it's a nice simple one to do. Again, if you want to do it sitting down, you can also do it like so. Okay, that's it. Great, guys. And then 30 seconds rest. Well done. So the next one, we're going to go back to that second lot of one. So we're going to do some spinal twists now. I'm going to use a bag of potatoes. Okay, just add a little bit of extra weight. So with this one, knees, feet hip width apart, knees slightly off lock. So I've locked them so you can see that. Just slightly off lock, arms out wide. Going to turn to the side, back to the centre, and turn to there again. Alright, so we're going to go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Taking it to the side. Let's go, team. Well done. Team general exercise, that's what it is. Or for short, GE crew, if you want to call it that. Want to be a bit gangster about it? There we go. Just taking the side. So really working those obliques, mobilising the middle part of the spine as well. Well done, good. That's action now. Keep the momentum going, guys. Really keeping it going. So next we're going to move on is the sit to stand. So again, in everyday life, we have to get in and out of a chair. Okay, I always like to give a reason for why we do things. So again, the reason why we want to build up these leg muscles is because it does help us to get in and out of a chair. Helps us if we're bending down, picking things up off the floor. Alright, so it's really important we have really strong legs. 3, 2, 1, and off we go again. So nice sit to stand. As I mentioned, if you find it a little bit difficult, or if you're using sticks, you can use a stick to get up. Have a nice little pedal, and then sitting back down again, okay? Don't be afraid to use any aids that you need to, table or another chair in front to help support you pushing up as you do it. Obviously you know your body's better than I do and what you're capable of doing, but just really go at your own pace, alright? I don't think I've stopped talking yet, have I? Whoosh! And then back, nice, steady, relax, good. If you want to have a little shake, some of my knees and legs are hurting a little bit. Well then, so now what we're going to do is a tap back with a forward raise. Got my little notes there to know what I'm doing. So we're going to do some tap backs with a forward raise. Again, I'm going opting for the 2 tins. If you need to, obviously what you can do is use heavy weights, whatever things around the house really. And you can have a little crack at that. So we're going to go in 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we're going to pick the pace up a little bit now. So as you can see, I'm going a little bit quicker as I'm doing it. Just bringing the arms up to shoulder height. As I mentioned previously, if you have any issues with the shoulder and you can only lift it up a little bit, that's fine. But just remember, if this is the bad arm, then you only take them up the good arm the same height as well, so you're mirroring. Otherwise, it's going to be it feels a little bit awkward while you're doing it. Okay, so it's always important to mirror the other half of the body. Okay. And relax again. Well done. So now we're going to go back to working. That's a little bit of cardiovascular. We're going to work a part of the CV again and part of the upper body again. So we're going back to some upright rows with some side steps. Okay? Some upright rows with some side steps. Okay? Obviously, if you sat down, what you can do is just sit on the edge of the chair, take a side step, and then bring it up. Or indeed, you could do 1, 2, and then go 1, 2 if you need to, if you find it difficult. Okay, and off we go. So now we know what the exercise is. Let's make it go that little bit quicker. Bring it up. It's a nice warm sunny day. Let's burn an extra couple of calories. It's Easter Sunday. So let's do it before we start eating some eggs. Well, I know I'm going to be anyway. So I need to burn a little bit more. There we go. Well done. Perfect, and relax. So now we're going to work our stomachs again. Going to do the side bends, okay? So working the obliques again. You can use any weight if you want to. If you sat down doing this particular one, probably your arms are going to be a little bit wider on this, okay? But we're still the same principle, still keeping the back nice and tall. A lot of people tend to say, it's if you have a hook on the top of the head or being pulled up by a balloon, so the body is nice and straight, okay? So, again, being mindful not to lean forward as we do this one. It's always a tendency. So a good analogy I like to use is if you're a piece of bread in a toaster, can't move forwards, can't move backwards, you're going to get burnt otherwise. So that's always a good one to remember. Silly, but it's always good. That's how I remembered it anyway. That's there we go. Again, working those obliques. And because I can't remember all the exercises, I've got them all written down. Good, so now we're going to go into the lateral lunge. So taking a step, back up. So this is one of the harder ones, okay? So side step, lunge down as far as you can go and back up. But this one again, if you want to use a little bit of weight just to hold, you can do. If you sat down in the chair, what I would do is take a step, transfer the weight into the leg, and then back. Take a step, pushing down into the floor, and then back up. Okay? Just to simulate that. So step, push, there we go. Again, being mindful of the knees and how low down you're going. Okay? And yes, this is gentle exercise, so we get constantly reminded. A lot of people say, oh no, this is not gentle. You can do obviously a side step like I did, or holding onto a chair if you need to, just like so. Again, that's another form of regression of it, just to build a little bit of CV in there, just to build up those legs. Good. Right then, so we got the mountain climbers, we got 3 more left. Okay, so mountain climbers, so getting our heart rate up. So opposite arm, opposite leg, so we're going like so. Alright. Obviously from a chair point of view as well, what you can do is there. Or again, if you're suffering with poor mobility in the hips and the knees, just, or the shoulders indeed as well, just taking it as high as you can. Just like so. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's pick it up, guys. Here we go. So we got 3 more left. This one and 2 more. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. There we go, there we go. That's it, stretching up as high as we can. Okay, bring the knees up. As you can see, I'm doing full mobility there. Obviously, if I want to regress it, I can do. And I can take it a little bit slower. Or indeed, I can do it from a chair as well. Good, last two. So, let's make a good one. This one now is obviously you could be working the shoulders. This is a lateral raise. But now I can add a side step into it. Just add a little bit more of a cardiovascular side of it, just to get that heart pumping towards the last 30 seconds. We've just got one more exercise to do. Wow, I can't believe how quick this is going. Whew. I'm sweating. It's unbelievable. That's good. But it's a good workout. And hopefully you can get a drink in between as well, because it is quite warm today. So we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and off we go. So let's take it up. Obviously, if you sat down, what you can do is there, or you can even do one arm at a time, opposite arm, opposite leg, or do 1, 2, and then move the legs. Okay? There's always variations to do with it. You can always make any exercise easy or as hard as we need to do. Okay? It's just breaking the move down. I'm doing opposite, same arm, same leg there. There we go. 2, 1. So the final one, guys, to really give those legs a little bit of a burn, okay, is the regress frog squats. Okay? So forearms on top of the thigh, and almost like jockeys in the chair. You can do that if you wanted to, pushing up. So if you're just getting up, this one's just stretching those hamstrings a little bit more. So forearms, you can start off in this position if you need to, as if you're almost resting or reading a book or using your phone. Okay, and then from that position, sitting on the edge, just going to bring your hamstrings up and taking it back down. Okay, and off you go. So 30 seconds. This is really going to stretch those hamstrings. As I said, if you want to make it a little bit more difficult, you can take the chair away and go down that a little bit lower. That's it. Or if you feel a bit more confident, you can put the elbows inside the knees, really opening up those hips. And again, only go down to a point as far and as comfortable as you feel. I'm only going down to this way just to kind of show you don't need to go all the way down to get a workout, because my legs are really burning on this one. And a little bit of a shake out. There we go. That's good. How you felt now? Well done, guys. Whoosh. Well done. So now we're just going to go into the cool down, just to stretch with everything done. I don't know about you guys, but I felt that last one. I really, really did. So we're going to stretch out now. Just back into some shoulders. What we're going to do is lower that heart rate. Everyone says is to call it the cool down. We're not physically cooling down. It's just lowering that heart rate. Whee! End the timer. Just lowering that heart rate down. Okay, so a couple of shoulders just to loosen up where we've been using them with the tins, and bring up the upright rows, and then relax. We'll just increase that mobility. So we'll do a side step, and we'll just as if we're brushing the hair, taking it all the way back. That is good. That's it. And then what we'll do is take 2 steps forward, get touch at the camera, boom, and then 2 steps back. That's perfect. Just going to come up onto our heels now. Again, if you need anything for support, like a chair, just coming up. Calf raises, just working the calves there. That's him. And then back into a nice little pedal. Or march. People say pedal, taking it backward. That's him. Okay, a little bit of a side step. And then we're just going to do a slow half jack. Just to mix things up a little bit. That's him. That's it. And then from there, we're going to do some hamstring curls. So as you can see, I'm bringing the move, slowing the move all the way down, and keeping it nice steady. Concentrate more on the balance. I'm going to bring the arms in, but I'm going to make it nice and gentle. As you can see, I'm only doing it as I lift up my one leg. There we go. And then what we're going to do is place your one hand on the chair if you need to, grabbing your foot or your tractor bottom or your trouser leg, pulling it up as far. Again, keeping the knee in line with the hip and just pushing back, so there's a little bit of a gap there, okay? So we're not sticking our leg out, we're just like so, and then relax. Opposite arm, opposite leg. So again, just to lower that pulse, bringing that heart rate back down, and then exactly the same then with the other leg. As you can see, my breathing's starting to come back to normal, and then relaxed. Back to a nice steady march. So everybody gets out of breath, guys. I wouldn't worry too much about that. it's the degree of how quickly you get out the breath, okay? So obviously, it's no need to worry, no need to panic in a sense. Just slow the move down and big deep breaths, okay? So from there now, we're just going to do some heel digs, and we'll do a chest press in that as well. So we've worked a lot across here. Take both hands, place them on the small of the back, and just squeeze those shoulder blades together. And again, if you want to have just a little march, just to lower that heart rate down, you can do, and then relax again. Into some heel digs again, and we'll just do some bicep curls. But as you can see, I'm really slowing the move right the way down now. A couple of comments coming up, I can't really see them, so I'll have a little read of them later. So then as you take a step forward then with your left leg, as you can see, and bending my one. If you need to use a chair for support, and just sitting back into the stretch, you should feel it from the top of the knee right up into the bum, the hamstring, and then slowly come back up. We'll do a couple more. As you see, I'm really slowing the move right down now. So I want to bring my heart rate down, okay? So then as you take a step forward then with your right leg, you're going to hold that there, and then sitting back down into the stretch. So you should feel stretch from the top of the knee right up into the bum, and then slowly back up. Into some side steps. Well, actually we'll do some crossovers. Again, as you can see, I'm not lifting my knee up high. I'm only going roughly about halfway, so I really want to bring my heart rate down, okay? And then what I'll do then is a little bit of a side step with a shoulder press. So as you can see, I'm really slowing that move down because it's the cool down. And then place one hand on top of the other, stretching all the way up to the sky. Again, any problems with any shoulder mobilities, just take it up as high. Some people may only take it to like so, but push it forward, almost as if you're hugging a tree. We're still stretching the same parts of the body, okay? And then relax. The last one, we're going to do some tap backs. So with this one, what I want you to do is make sure the heel touches the floor for me, okay? We're not using the arms, we're going to lay those down just nice and let those relax by our sides. And again, if you want to use a chair for support, you can. And then as you take a step back with your left leg, hold that there, bend the front knee, and knees slightly forward, okay? Again, make sure the knees don't go past the foot, the body is slightly over the knee. You should feel it all in the lower part of the leg. And then come back up, and then we're going to do a couple more, just to loosen everything. As you can see, I'm using a lot of support equipment, so whether it be the table or some chairs, I've got everything set up around me that I need to. So obviously that's something you may want to take forward in the next class, which Craig will be taking on Monday, I believe. No, he's doing TMW on Monday. Have a little look on the website, and we're up to date with everything at the moment. So then as you take a step back with your right leg, hold that there, bend the front knee, and lean slightly forward as well. So please, have a little look on our Facebook page, BGX as referral. I'm setting daily challenges as well. I've just put one up this morning. And then relax, nice little march to finish off with. So just put one up this morning. We put in regular posts up there, as well as gentle exercise classes. We run in TMW, which is Tai Chi for Movements of Wellbeing, and Craig will be doing those. Also, we're providing a cup of social and a hobnob, which is basically a chance for you guys to interact with us. So obviously we can't do it physically, so we decided to do it virtually. That's going to be done via the Zoom app. Okay, I'm going to start marching now so you can relax and listen. That's going to be done via the Zoom app, so please look out for the ID and the password to join those meetings. Okay, so please guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Stay safe and get in touch at the end. Boom! Well done, and thank you very much. Please leave any comments below if you need any questions answering, or if you have got any positive or negative comments. It's entirely up to you, so we can kind of get back to you and hopefully make things better for you in the future as well, because that's what it's about. It's providing a two-way process for you guys. So please feel free to say what's on your mind, okay? And hopefully, don't forget, just after this class now, Craig and Phil will be providing that social interaction, a cup of social and a hobnob. So please have a little look on our page for the times and details of that to come. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good weekend, stay safe, and get in touch. Boom!